Hey YouTube world, it's Voodoo Charlie here. Today I am going to review for you the Rider Robust round mod 14500 Varivolt mod from L Rider. I received this in a co-op from China. Reason I wanted it specifically was because I didn't do the normal progression of most people that did e-cigs. I went from the mini e-cig batteries, such as these, okay, and I went straight into the mods, okay. I made the drastic jump and I didn't get anything small, ego size, or anything like that. So what I wanted this for was I absolutely love variable voltage. I don't think any device for me other than varivolts or variwatts is my device. It's small. It fits perfectly in a shirt pocket or in my pants pocket, and I can stealth vape with it. Fits really good in my hand. You know, the button just really clicky. I like it. Quick overview of the device. There's your actuator button right here. Okay. Display, positive button, negative button up at top. Okay. Now, um, no devices go without a battery, so we're going to go ahead and install the battery. The vent cap, or the negative post cap, has a spring, and it also has a hole to vent in case your battery goes into thermal runaway. Thing I like about this device too is just the feel. It's got this rubberized type feel to it. It just feels really good in my hand. So anyway, when I install the battery, you always want to install positive in into the Addy side. Okay, negative in goes to your spring. So one thing I want to show you real quick is as I put this spring on here, let me make sure, instantly as soon as I make touch, before I even screwed it on, it starts lighting up. So your device is on. Okay? To shut off the device, what you do is you hold down the negative button. Five seconds, it goes off. Push it again, hold it. Poof, it comes back on. Magic. This is similar to most varivolt devices I've had, which do not save your settings when you remove the battery and put in a new one. It automatically defaults to 3 volts. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and run some tests. This is a pulse width modulated device. The problem with pulse width modulation in most devices is the display, that the voltage that it gives you on the display is not the same voltage that's read with a voltmeter. So what we're going to do is we're going to test it out. So what I have here is a device with a voltmeter, okay? And we're going to test it at 3 volts, okay? 2.99. That's pretty close to 3 volts, so we'll take that, all right? Now at 4 volts, 4.02. This device goes up to 6 volts, so let's try it at 5 real quick. And it does 5.1. And when we go to 6 volts, it gives me 6.1. I've done this video about 10 times now. Every time at 5 volts, it goes to 5.1. At 6 volts, it goes to 6.1. At the 3 and 4 volt mark, it kind of sways a couple hundredths of a volt. Not that big of a deal. They all stay within 2.97 and 3.01 so far on the 3 volt, and the same thing with the 4 volt. They've always stayed within a couple hundredths of a volt, so not a big game changer. Alright, so next thing we want to talk about is what I have here is a standard res Cardo inside a custom tank that my friend Gina off of Facebook made, and I can't thank her enough. I absolutely love this tank. She made 2 of them for me. I use them on a daily basis. So anyway, this is a 2.8 ohm cardo, as you can see, okay, and we're going to pop it on the device because we know the device under no load gives you solid voltage, but who's going to vape under no load? You always want to have a load because that's your cardo. So we're going to rock this at 3 volts, and we are going to get a voltage of 2.96. It's close enough to 3. I'll take it. Not bad. Now let's do 4 volts. You ready? 4.04. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and switch it up. So I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to take a low res cardo. Reason I stopped at 4 volts is I essentially vape around 4.2 volt area. That's kind of where I find my sweet spot in the vaping world. So this is 1.6 ohm cardo, okay? And we're going to put it on the device. This tank I bought at VaporCon. It's from Mad Vapes, but alright, enough about that. At 3 volts, 2.95. It's fairly solid. Let's go to 3.5 volts. 3.45, still good. Let's go up to 4 volts now. But wait, it's 3.44 volts. Well, maybe I just need to boost it up more and see what it does. There's at 5 volts. 3.41. But wait, my voltage went up on my device, but it didn't go up on my meter. There's a reason behind that. And it's very simple. This device has a 2 amp output. Okay, that's all it's going to give you out. I'm going to post a link in the description below, and it's a calculator. And if you look at it at 2 amps with 1.6 ohms, you're going to get around 3.4, 3.5 volts, somewhere in there, okay? Which makes perfect sense. When you go higher res, you're then putting out 2 amps, and you're going to get a little bit higher of a voltage, okay? So with that being said, this device works good on standard resistance, but not so much on low resistance. Now, where is my... I'll use this for right now. This is just a standard 510 Addy. And what's good about this device is it has a drip well. So if you're dripping, it will catch in that well. Now, I'm going to show you real quick. This is my rebuildable that I rebuilt earlier today. It's a stainless steel wick. It's rocking right at 2.9 ohms. We're going to go ahead and drip a couple drops in here. And we're going to go ahead and take a toot. Let me get this up to right around 4.5. There we go. Great device. Like I said, this is a 2.9, 3.0 ohm coil in here, and it rocks solid at 4.5 volts. But with the same 4.5 volts, I'm gonna pop on that low res. Next to no flavor, very cold vape, not enough to shock the coil. Actually, that was at 5 volts, and it still wasn't enough to shock the coil. So, with that being said, this device, it's a good device. I like it, but only in the effect I'm using standard res or high res, and by res I mean resistance. The reason is this device just doesn't kick it in low resistance. It's nothing wrong with this device. It just puts 2 amps out. 2 amps is not enough to really get the coil going on a low resistance. 2 amps is, however, good enough on a high resistance. You can bump up your voltage a little bit and go from there. I do like the device. I love it. I stealth vape with it. I sit here, at work. I have, my rebuildable on here and drip a couple drops. Take a good toot. It gives good solid, feel to it. Good solid throat hit, good solid vapor. And it works like a champ. This I would describe as a entry level or beginning level Varivolt mod. It's a good solid device. It does resistance check if you push the actuator button a couple times. I think it's 5 times. It gives you the resistance. This is displaying 3.2 ohms. I think when I had it hooked up to the meter, it was 2.99 or something like that. So it's fairly accurate. The voltage on it, it does display very accurate voltage, which is very rare to find in a pulse width modulated device. All in all, fits real good in my hand. When I vape with it, I don't hold it normal because I kind of have bigger hands, so I actually actuate it with my middle finger. As you can see, it works. The button is raised, so it's not like your Silver Bullet or I believe my Bolt has a low button. So it is raised, so there is the chance of pocket setting off. But all in all, good solid mod, especially if you're new to the Varivolts and you're new to mods. This is gonna serve great for you. I got it in a co-op. $30 is what I paid. I know there are sites out there selling them between $40 and $50 for the mod. It's not a bad price point if you want a good small mod. Varivolts. It uses the 14500 battery, which is about the size of a AA battery. I wish I had some AA batteries around here. I'd put it up against to compare. I think this is AAA. Yeah, that's AAA. But it's about the size of a AA battery. However, don't use AA batteries in it. All in all, this is a good mod. I like it. I have very little bad stuff to say about it. When I'm using standard resistance, I have nothing bad to say about it. When I'm using low res, obviously I'm going to say it doesn't kick well enough. With that being said, if you're looking to try out Varivolts, or you're just new into modding and you want to get off the mini e-cigs, even if you're looking to get into e-cigarettes in general from the analogs, or stinkies as other people call them, or just regular tobacco burning cigarettes, this is a good mod for you. I think as long as you go with standard resistant Cardos, standard resistance Addies, or something to the effect. All in all, good solid mod. That's what I have to say. This is Voodoo Charlie, and I'm out.